Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs and today I have my August bullet journal set up to share with you. So let's jump right in. So I did kind of want to go with like an Alice in Wonderland feel for this. So that's kind of what I'm going to work with. And I brought in some really fun things to play with. Now honestly, I am going to make a few mistakes in this video and I'll show you how I fix them. But I think in the end it did turn out pretty neat, so I'm pretty happy with it. I am sorry this went up a bit late. Today is August 1st. That was not my intention. I like to kind of have these videos up earlier, but I had a family emergency and had to leave town, so I'm out of town as I'm like recording this, and because of that, I got behind on some things, and yeah, so I do apologize that this video is going up a bit later than I intended, but I like to share this with you. I know this isn't my general content. I do tend towards more, card making and that kind of thing, but I do find that I need help staying organized because I, balance a lot of things between my YouTube channel and I've been trying to do a lot more short form content. You guys have seen the shorts and, my Instagram content and, I have a blog and that kind of stuff. So I find keeping my bullet journal really helps me stay organized and it gives me kind of a fun way to express my creativity in a different way. So I've been having a lot of fun with it. You can see as I'm kind of making my August calendar here, I did make a bit of a mistake. I put a line in the wrong spot. Now I'm going to fix it because I wanted to do a waterfall kind of tab to these. I am going to use the leftover of this cutoff to fix that mistake. And I think it turned out really great that way, but it wouldn't matter. If you had like a paint pen, you could just go over it. But because these pages of this journal are actually an off-white, they're more of a cream color, I don't have a cream paint pen. And I thought that it would be easier to use leftover paper that I've just cut off to kind of fix that mistake, as opposed to bringing in something that would kind of cover it because the white wouldn't look correct. So I just counted out how many squares it was, and then I just cut this piece down. This was the extra that I just cut off of my waterfall tabs, and that's what I'm going to use to kind of redo those squares. Now you could have cut them in a row. I'm going to cut them as 4 little boxes. You could have just cut like the whole row and that would have worked too, and then just redrawn the lines. But it's one of those things where as I make the mistake, I'm trying to fix it, and then as I'm like gluing them down, I'm like, oh, you could have just left those as a row. Like you didn't have to cut out 4 little squares, but that's okay. It works in the end and I don't really mind, but that is how I fixed that. And I do like to start my calendar on Sunday. I am Canadian, if you guys don't know that. And of course, our calendars start Sundays. So, I mean, if you prefer a Monday start, you could absolutely, have your calendar start that way. But because I'm Canadian and our calendar starts on Sundays, that is what I like to start my calendar with. And I feel like this is a fairly straightforward design. Outside of my cover page, there isn't a lot of decoration. I did kind of have a lot of fun with the cover page though, and I did kind of lean into that Alice in Wonderland feel. At least that's what I was trying for. I kind of wanted a bit of a whimsical, bit of a different feel. And you guys know that I like pretty, so bringing in a ton of butterflies is right up my alley. But you could recreate this with just the butterflies and not have necessarily the Alice element in it. But I have this pattern paper pack from, I'm pretty sure it's Art of Alchemy, or it's Alchemy of Art. I always get it wrong. Anyway, it's their Enchanted World Follow Alice papers, and I also have the extra cutouts. So here I'm using one of the pieces of paper, and I'm going to cut it down to fit beside my calendar. It is going to cover a little bit of my calendar, but I don't mind that. I like that look, so I kind of just aim to rip this off, and then I'm going to use the other side of that piece of ripped on the bottom other side of the corner. Sorry guys. Oh, you guys, I'm struggling a little bit, so bear with me as I try to get some content up. As I said, I am out of town for a family emergency, so just bear with me as I get this content up for you guys. And I know that this is not, the preferred content on my channel, and that's perfectly okay. I just think it's really fun to experiment with different styles of creation. Generally I do go more towards, paper crafting, like card making, or art journaling. Well, not art journaling necessarily, although that is something I'd like to add to the channel. I'm more like card making and mixed media stuff, that kind of stuff. But every once in a while, especially now with the bullet journal, I'm just having so much fun kind of playing with this different style of collage. And it's like fun, but also practical. So I've just been really having a lot of fun with it. So bear with me. Thank you for watching this video. I know that it's not, everybody's favorite content on my channel, but I love that you guys don't mind watching whatever the heck I'm doing, and I greatly appreciate you guys so, so much. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of glue down those rips of paper that I've made. And then I brought in this doily because I didn't like how I kind of cut the bottom of that page. It was so straight. But I didn't know what else to do because I tried to add another piece and it looked kind of funny. So I'm actually going to just add this piece of doily here. And then I'm going to bring in all the butterflies. So these butterflies I fussy cut myself a little while ago, and I just kind of have them in that plastic bin you can see to the left-hand side. And I have all sorts of fussy cuts from this pattern paper. Well, it's the add-on to this pattern paper. And I just have them all fussy cut in a little tub waiting for whenever I want to use it so that I can have easy ephemera pieces that I can just bust out and use. So I kind of think that that's a lot of fun, and I just keep them. So I like it in the evening when my husband is playing video games or whatever he's doing, I will sit beside him on the couch and I will just fussy cut images because I have a lot of fun doing that. So I kind of like that as an activity for the evening time because I find fussy cutting to be quite calming, and I really enjoy it. So I did use this cool mushroom because I thought it was so whimsical and interesting. So I did cut just a piece of it off. I'm trying not to bulk up the spine too much. So if I can, I will cut an image in half or in wherever I want to place it, and then adhere the other side to the page so that there isn't a lot of bulk trying to fold. I have found so far that if I have things across the spine, they tend to just lift off or rip. So I find this is just an easier way to have my whole image kind of still sit together but not put a lot of bulk on the spine of the book, because that's kind of what I've found works better for me. And then for my, I was going to say my sentiment, for my title of the month, August, I did bring out a Tim Holtz stamp set that I really like. This is I have it written down here somewhere, a Worn Text stamp set. So of course I just used my letters and stamped out with my acrylic block August, and you could stamp this out on a separate piece of paper and then like cut around it like I've done these pieces of ephemera, these butterflies. Then you'd have that kind of same look, but I wanted it to be a little more integrated into the page. So I just opted to stamp it on top with my black ink, and I thought that looked kind of neat, and I just had a lot of fun with this. I think if you guys have watched my bullet journal videos before this is the first year I've ever created one, so I'm very, very new to it still. But I think I say in every video how much fun I'm having with them, and I keep making them because it's just such a fun way to stay organized. So I have been having a lot of fun with that. And then here you can see I just added a ton of these really pretty butterflies. I adhered down just the center of the butterfly, and then I kind of lift up the wings. The book will close, so they won't stay lifted up like that all the time, but it does kind of add a bit of interest and texture to the page, which I thought was really pretty. And then I did have a couple of butterflies left, so I added them down by the August text with this really beautiful key. So, and that's kind of all I did for decoration on the main page. Oh, I am going to add another doily here in a moment, but first I'm going to add the days of the week and then the numbers for the calendar. So that's kind of it. And I did use two different marker or pens for this. It was the Copic Multiliner set, and I used the 0.1 for all the super fine lines, and then the 0.5 for any of the slightly thicker lines. And I do kind of like the variation. It just gives it a little more interest. If you only own one pen, though, you could absolutely just go through and use the one pen on everything. You don't need that two sizes. But I just think it's kind of fun to have a thick and a thin line as I work through the pages. And I did bring in just my little trimmer here. This is the Tim Holtz trimmer. I think it's the mini trimmer, I believe it's called. And it's just so great when I'm cutting down really small things. It fits beautifully on my desk, and I just have a lot of fun using it because it's super cute. And it took me forever to get it. So I have a fun busting it out whenever I get a chance to work with it. And then we're going to flip on to the next page. So this next spread that I'm doing, I kind of came up with this in my July bullet journal. I hadn't used the spread before that, and I kind of just came up with this idea for it, and I loved it in July. So I kind of changed it up a little bit. I've used reflection in this one because I thought that would be kind of fun to just write things that happened in August that I'd like to think about or that were interesting or anything like that. So I chose the reflection title, and then I have content planner above that because I do plan out my content. I try to keep on top of it so that I'm not, making content on the fly. I'm trying to be a little better about that. So I did make a content planner section. And then I also have habits at the top left of the page and then tasks under that. So I find the tasks page kind of just gives me a section where I can write everything that I want to accomplish in August, or anything that I didn't accomplish in July that I want to move forward. And then I take those tasks, sorry about my head there, and then I take those tasks and kind of put them into the weekly section so that I know the things I want to work on that month. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. So I kind of use it as like a dump all section, and then I move everything that's on there into the weeks so that I have a clear idea of what I'm trying to accomplish, and then I can kind of work on that. So if I have any projects due, because I do design for other companies, so if I have any projects that are due, I can put them in the content planner or in the tasks list if they have a certain due date, or if I have anything that's coming up, or any specific things I need to work with in a timely fashion, anything like that. I kind of have that information just there, and I can easily move it to wherever I want it to be. For my habit tracker, I do have 3 habits I'm trying to track. So I made 3 little boxes for them. I didn't write what I'm tracking in this part because I think I know, but I wasn't totally sure. So I just kind of made the boxes for them, and then I will add my habits to them later. But so far I've kind of been tracking exercise because, I sit at my desk a lot because I work at my desk. So I'm trying to be better about that and kind of, be a little more aware of the fact that I'm sitting too much. And then I have drawing, because if you've been with me for a little while, you know that I'm working on my drawing skills and I'm trying to draw every day, and I'm trying to make that a regular practice. And then I have eating 3 meals. Because I work a fair amount for myself at home, I tend to get distracted with what I'm doing, and I'll go like the whole day and I've eaten maybe 1 meal. So I'm trying to be really conscientious about the fact that, my body does need to eat. So I should be more aware of it and attempt to, at least have snacks throughout the day or something. So that kind of gives me a place to be like, okay, like did I actually make the effort to eat more than 1 meal today? And that kind of thing. So that is what I did. And I just did a generic kind of box that has 5 weeks in it, because though I did my August layout in the beginning, I didn't add the first few days. Like the last few days of July aren't on that calendar, but they will show up here. I just won't fill them in. And then of course I'm going to go in and write just the letters of the week at the top, and then I'll go in and actually put the days in the boxes where it starts, though I'm not going to show you guys that right now. And then we're going to decorate a little. You can see on the bottom of my tasks box, the August has kind of come through the page. That is something I'd like to be aware of next year when I do my 2025 journal. I want to make sure that I pick a journal that has thicker paper. This journal was great. It was super easy to get. They're like so easy to find. You can buy them on Amazon. They're like, these are great journals. They're super easy to find. But with what I like to do, they just don't have a thick enough paper for me. So when I look for my next journal, I will be, attempting to find a journal that has thicker pages. So if you bullet journal, leave your notebook suggestions down in my comment box so that I can look at different company options, keeping in mind that I am in Canada, so shipping can be a bit of a problem. Archer and Olive make some beautiful journals, but the shipping is more than the journal. So I kind of have to be aware of that kind of thing, because yeah, they can be really expensive. And then for the stickers, I think all of the stickers that I used in this setup and throughout the pages, they're all from Stickii Club. I was part of their subscription for a while, and they made this really cool Alice in Wonderland set of stickers. So I chose one of them and thought it would be really fun just to use just the stickers to decorate the page. So I went all out and I just had a blast adding stickers all over the place. It's not a very cohesive setup, but honestly, it's just a lot of fun and I don't have a problem with it. And at the end of the day, it's only me who's going to be looking at this as I fill it out anyway. So I did have a lot of fun with that. And then we're going to move into my weekly spreads. So for me personally, I like to have a very cohesive look to everything. So for my journal, I make my weeklies all the same. Now I know a lot of people will do their weeklies different every week. But for me personally, I like cohesion in my journal. So I do end up just creating the same look and feel to each weekly. And that just makes it easier for me because I think that I kind of use my cover page as the most decoration, sorry. So I kind of make these to be more functional. Though I do want them to be pretty, I do aim for them to be more functional than pretty. So that's kind of what I think when I create my weeklies. So you did see me cut down my waterfall tabs. I like to line my waterfall tabs with washi tape. And sadly, I didn't have anything in my stash that really felt Alice-esque. So I went out with this really pretty washi tape. This is from 49th and Market. It was from their vintage artistry set. I don't know if you can still get it. If not, I'll find something really cool to link down in the description that has butterflies. But this is just something I had that I kind of felt fit the whimsical nature of the design and all those butterflies on the cover page. That's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, ideally you would have maybe a washi tape that would work with your layouts, but I think this works. It's just not quite what I was thinking when I originally started setting this up, but I love butterflies, so I don't think you can go wrong. So I did line both sides with the washi tape, and then I'm just going to cut off any pieces that are hanging outside of the pages, and I will bring in my corner rounder and round all the corners. I do that for anywhere that I have an element sticking off of the page as well. So the front page does have butterflies sticking off the top. I left those, but I will go and do like the pieces of cardstock, the pattern paper that I added to the front. I will go and round the corners for that, just because I think that it gives it a really nice finished look, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for. This is a detail you don't need to add, but I just like how it looks, so I tend to add that. And then I'm going to go in and create there's a little bit of decoration going on the edge here. I did this because I knew that the waterfall tabs were going to kind of let you see some of it, so to keep the pages looking somewhat similar, with the dimension of the page, I did kind of choose to line it with another one of the Alice papers from the Art of Alchemy, or Alchemy of Art. I think it's Art of Alchemy. I'll have their webpage linked down below. A local company of mine gets them in, so I purchase all my stuff locally if I can. I like to support local business, so they bring this company in for me, but I think they're based in like Poland or I think Sweden. I don't know. They're not local to me, so I do have to bring them in so that I can use them. But I love their papers so much, so I've been having a lot of fun. And I've actually been kind of hoarding this Alice paper for a while and thought this would be a really fun time to use it because I didn't know what to do for my August bullet journal. So it turned out a lot of fun. And I am going to bring in some of the ephemera pieces that I have cut out after I do my lines. I'm going to show you my lines here. I just break the page into quarters so that I end up with 8 blocks across the 2 pages. 4 blocks on each page, so the whole spread has 8 blocks. I do one for each day of the week, and then I have one just for notes. So when I have my task list, I will take tasks from that list, add them into kind of my notes section, and then I will, add whatever that happens to be into the week. So say I needed to make, sometimes I try to do all my videos in the first week or 2 of the month. So I'll say I need to record X amount of videos, and then I'll break it up daily into what tasks work out. So I'll take my task list from the page before this one, and then I'll put them into the notes sections of my 4 weeks, and then I'll break them down into what works for that week. I did choose to start this on the 4th instead of the 1st, just because I already had the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in July's layout, because I just do consistent, like the whole week is laid out in those 4 or 8 blocks. So I chose to keep the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd with July's dates, and then start my August as of the 4th. So I just found that worked really well for me. I didn't start my journal that way, actually. I used to repeat a week. And then I decided that was kind of silly and not super helpful, so I stopped doing that. But that's kind of, this is such a learning experience for me because it's so new for me that I have to kind of feel out what the heck I'm trying to do. And so I kind of keep making changes, which is why it's so fun to just kind of keep going along and just do different things. But here you can see I'm just numbering the days of the week and writing notes in the 8th box so I don't accidentally write a day of the week. And then I'm just handwriting the days of the week starting on the Sunday. And then I just go through and do that for all of my weeklies because, like I said, I do like them to look cohesive. And of course, the one page does start getting slightly longer just because that's how it works with this layout, but I don't mind, so I'm okay with it. And I did bring in just a few of the ephemera pieces that I'd cut because I love them. These Joker cards with different Alices on them are a lot of fun. So I thought those would be kind of neat just to put into the notes page a little bit because I don't tend to write as much on those pages. So it was a kind of a great way to put a little extra decoration into the page there. But I mean, you could, if you weren't doing the note section, do just a full decorated block and then just move the block throughout your weekly. You could put it as the first block, the last block, whatever you want to do. But because I use the note section, I just opted to put a little bit of decoration there. And then I love these teacups and teapot. If you guys know me, you know I love a good cup of tea. It is one of my favorite things to do at any time in the day. So I did have to add this really pretty teacup and teapot as just a little bit of added decoration, because why the heck not? If I had a teapot like this, if you've ever seen a teapot like this and you can buy one, please let me know, because I would buy one in a heartbeat. And then this is a different sticker sheet from Stickii. It was in that same Alice in Wonderland set. And honestly, I loved these. I thought these were so cool. So it's like an ombre of roses, and it just goes from a super pale color to a very dark pink or red color. And I thought that was so fitting because of the whole, painting the roses red. If you've ever seen Alice in Wonderland, the movie, the Disney edition, they're painting the roses red because they planted white roses in the Queen's garden, the Red Queen's garden. And so they paint them red. And I just thought it would be so fun to have these ombre flowers beside my days of the week, and then they just are slowly getting darker and darker. So I had a lot of fun with this sticker sheet. And I did use it on all of the weeklies, though I just showed you two. And then I find it easier for me to split up my blocks. So I like to bring in a Tombow dual brush pen. And for this one here, I only use two colors. I believe this is 910. I could be wrong. This could be 761. I used this kind of light pink color on all of my weeklies. And then I used a more, I would say, almost peachy color for my content planner part, because I went and relined those as well. And those are the two markers I used. It was 910 and 761. They're both linked down in the description below if you're at all interested in checking them out. But I just find that this helps me break up my information. Like I can read it easier on the page. So that's I like doing it. I've been doing this since I started bullet journaling the beginning of this year, and it's something that continues on because I just enjoy the look and how it helps me see the page a little better, and it just adds a splash more color. You guys know I love vibrant things. I love color. It is probably my favorite thing ever. So to add a little extra color just does me so excited. So I always do that. And then this is the other color that I added. So there's just the two of them, but I did add this as well. And so yeah, so I have that all linked down below if you're at all interested. My supplies are always at the bottom of my video, the description. So if you're ever interested, or if you have a question, please leave me a comment. I'm trying really hard to answer questions as quickly as I see them. Sometimes it takes me a little bit of time, and bear with me for right now. It will take me a bit longer than it normally would to respond, unless I have some downtime and I can respond. But as a general rule, I do respond fairly quickly. It's just when you make comments like, "Those are beautiful," it takes me a while to come back, just because I don't tend to make those ones the first priority to respond to. I always respond to all the comments. Sometimes it just takes me a little longer. But let's take a quick look at everything we did, hopefully a little closer here, so you can see all those stunning butterflies and that beautiful pattern paper in the background. This is a fairly straightforward layout, I think, but I love it. I think it turned out really fun. This is the only page that I'm like, this is kind of weird, but honestly, that's okay too. It's really about experimentation for me and just playing with different things. And this gave me a chance to use some stickers that I don't know what I would have done with otherwise. So that was a lot of fun. And then of course the weeklies, as I go in, I will go and fill them out and add all sorts of stuff to them. So I think this turned out pretty great. I'd love to know your thoughts though. As always, I like to know what you guys are thinking. Tell me your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. If you have any ideas for new content I can put on my channel, please leave that for me too. It's always interesting to hear what you guys are thinking. That is the video I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a like, leave me a comment, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new content every Monday and Thursday, and lives every second Thursday. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.